Professor Hawk.
I'm not upset about the actual thing, because they did that in Infinity War, where they just made Tony Stark his heart okay. He's like, oh, I just had an operation, and it's done. I can accept that with this movie, like, oh, well, they just merged Bruce Banner and the Hulk, and that's done. There's not really a whole struggle or whatever, or at least a struggle we saw. It just happened on screen. The only thing is for me, he just reminds me so much of Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
I mean, he didn't say I'm gonna wreck it, but I really liked it, actually. Like, I thought that was straight up awesome. Really love the Hulk character. Like, with Hulk Smash, like, that is when I go completely from physics says you can't do that to like, yay, brain turn off, Hulky Smash now, good time.
I don't know, it just felt like, one of those cartoon characters the entire time to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely became a cartoon, effectively like a cartoon character. It was a joke. I mean, that made him, like, very much a comic relief, so that let him act and also be the Hulk at the same time. So, like, it seemed like a very convenient plot device. I also, I just like, because I like Bruce Banner and I like the way he acted, especially in, like, Thor Ragnarok.
That was a fun movie, though.
It was very fun. It was a buddy cop movie. It was awesome.
Oh, so the bit of trivia here. So they actually, just like they have the problems with the Spider-Man movies, Marvel Studios, or whoever is controlling Disney, I guess, does not have the rights to make a Hulk movie.
Oh, they don't?
So, no, they do not. That's why, because remember they had those shitty ass, they weren't that shitty, actually.
No, I got you, but the Hulk just doesn't succeed on his own, though. As a movie.
Yeah. Does he though?
I like the one with Edward Norton.
I like
the
the
one that
Edward
started
Norton
the
ones.
MCU. That was well done.
Yeah. So the reason why, basically, there's a reason Thor Ragnarok was basically also a Hulk movie, was because they can't make a Hulk movie, but they could put the Hulk in a Thor movie and have it be fine, just like they could put him in the Avengers and have it be okay and not violate the contract.
Well, wait. Wasn't Robert Downey Jr. in the old Hulk movie with Edward Norton, though?
No, at the end. At the post-credit scene, he makes an appearance.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean, like, so they could still have him do a cameo. They could have Iron Man do a cameo. They could just be like, yeah, we're going to let you do this. They own the rights to the Hulk. They're just not allowed to distribute a Hulk movie, I think, is the way it works. I think those things are universal.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know Universal had their hand in this. But yeah, I mean, Thor Ragnarok, like I said, had a lot of fun, and I always assumed it was because, like, a standalone Hulk film was just not working. They tried it multiple times, and they just, like, he just doesn't perform on his own.
Well, yeah, because I think it was great because they let the Hulk actually have a personality and talk and not just be an incoherent, like, force of nature.
Yeah.
Like, he got to be, like, his own thing, effectively. And I thought that movie was, like, just one of the best.
The Edward Norton one, it did try to set up for, like, a future Hulk movie, a standalone. However, it never happened because Edward Norton, whatever that happened with him, and he got the boot.
Oh, the rights got weird, I think.
And plus, the director and the others didn't want Norton to come back because he wanted, like, full control of everything and rewrite things, and he was changing lines and doing whatever he wanted, so they told him no, and that's why they had creative differences.
You had mentioned this when we did the video on the video game, that Loki was going to have his own standalone series, and, like, I could see how now that would work. But the thing is what I'm worried about is it's going to be, like, a mess like Star Trek, because, like, Star Trek right now is a mess, and, like, they got fractured universes and everything like that, because you got the original series of Star Trek, you got, the J.J. Abrams universe, and then apparently you got the other universe, and apparently they're going to use that for the Picard series or whatever, so there's, like, 3 Star Trek universes or whatever.
J.J. Abrams universe,
Anyway.
I haven't seen Discovery yet, but whatever.
Okay, but overall, though, Star Trek is a mess right now. So the thing is like, do you think, like, obviously, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Marvel because they have been making a lot of good decisions. But do you think the Loki thing is a good idea, or do you think it's going to ruin it like the Star Trek, multiverse thing?
I am afraid of Marvel TV. I am afraid of the TV serialized stuff. So I've seen parts of the Daredevil, and I thought it was okay, but, like, I haven't finished it. I don't like it as much, especially for, like, crazy powerful beings like Loki. Like, Daredevil, okay, he's, like, his superpowers are not, like, that outlandish. Like, he generally just runs around and beats people up.
Yeah,
so
Batman.
It's just, like, an action. Yeah, it's like a Batman thing, right? It's not the end of the world. It doesn't take a huge budget. So you're gonna have, like, a lot of, like, really crappy, like, Loki lounging around, like, not doing Loki things. Right? Or it's going to be like really shitty CGI and it's just going to look dumb.
I disagree. I really am looking forward to the Loki TV show because A, I really like Loki, the character, and also I like the actor who plays him, which plays him very, very well. And I did watch the Marvel Studios on Netflix for the TV shows for Daredevil, for Luke Cage, what's the other ones? Iron
Jessica
Fist.
Rabbit or something? Or Jessica Jones.
Jessica
I'm sorry.
Jones.
Jessica
Oh,
Jones.
sorry, guys.
And then
I'm sorry.
And then the Defenders, which brings them all together in their own superhero group, like the Avengers. Okay, some seasons are good. others are not. And also the Punisher was really well done. But Daredevil first season is good. The second season they dropped the ball, and then the third season they came back to be as gritty as it was in the first one. Daredevil was great because it was really gritty and it was like real life. It wasn't like Daredevil going around able to beat up 100 bad guys all at once without breaking a sweat. No, you see him struggle when he's fighting multiple people and stuff like that, and you see all the punches, everything runs a toll where it's more believable. Not like Superman where, you punch him and he just laughs at you and punches you back. However, with the other ones, Iron Fist was okay. I don't know, the second one they kind of lost the feel of Iron Fist and they kind of added some weird stuff. It started off great, but then at the end it was kind of like a letdown. But some of the other ones, I can understand your hesitation for a TV series, but they could make a good TV series and have something where it kind of piques your interest until he's in like another cameo for a movie or makes another appearance. I always thought that that's what they should have done better with Star Wars instead of having a movie that kind of sucked or a trilogy which wasn't that great so far, or it doesn't look so great. The third one, I don't know, but the trailer looks great, but otherwise not sure.
You can't just do that. You gotta be like, you're like dropping like the equivalent of like a nuclear bomb in here. You can't be like, we're talking about Marvel, and you can be like, well, the Star Wars trilogy sucks. I'm gonna be like, well, I really like what they did in Thor Ragnarok, but Trump 2020 MAGA, you can't just drop a fucking bomb. Like, no, that's not cool.
That's not a bomb, but I'm just making a parallel with what I think should have been more of a TV show than an actual movie. And I'm using that as a reference, or at least I'm trying to. Which you're
just on the new trilogy, and I have hard disagreements on this.
Back to the original topic. Yes, I actually like the TV shows, the Marvel Studios, and I do hope that they add other lesser renowned characters that's not really like, main lead, having like a shot as a TV series, which they can make it good. Some of maybe the lesser known heroes, lesser known villains or anti-villains or any heroes or whatever else that Marvel owns the rights to, where they can make it into like a nice fun like TV series. Even with the Marvel Studios, they don't have like a $1 billion budget. However, it was done really well without all the crazy CGI and stuff like that. That's one thing with the Marvel Studios that they did. Besides Iron Fist with his glowing hand and some other little CGI, they really toned down on the CGI stuff because they wanted to make it more real looking instead of, like 90% of the movie being all CGI. I think that they can make it, and even with Loki's power, they don't all have to be with CGI, okay? They could use camera tricks and do other stuff to make it more believable without resorting to 80% that's all CGI. You just stand in this blue screen and just do this.
I don't have a good source on this. Someone told me, actually, the only reason they really did cancel the Netflix series is just because it had sex in it, or sexual innuendo, and Disney's just not comfortable with that type of stuff.
No.
No?
I don't think that. I think the reason is Disney's making their own competitor, Netflix, and they're like, this is gonna stop.
Yes, and also, Netflix doesn't want to have shows from their competitor on their streaming service. So that's why they really canceled it. Have you seen some of the movies and stuff that Netflix has? But it's more of, we now have a rival called Disney Plus, and we're airing their TV show. We're paying them money to make movies, make TV shows on our streaming service for our rival. So no, of course they're gonna put a kibosh to that. However, Netflix did make a lot of money and stuff and subscribers because of Marvel Studios. They got a lot of views and stuff like that, so that's good. But from a business standpoint, that makes no sense. And plus Disney, they would rather make it on their own streaming service. That way they have more of a draw to get more people to spend like $8 a month for their streaming service. It was doing great and everything. Some seasons, like I said, were kind of bad than others. However, they were doing very well this year and also last year when they were saying that they have a new season of like Daredevil. Their stock went up because their shareholders were, yeah, that's awesome. It's going to draw more people in or retain more customers. If Netflix had their own way and Disney Plus didn't be a thing, then they would have like the next like 10, 20 seasons of Marvel Studios and whatever else that they wanted because it's a big draw for them. And right now, Netflix is still floundering because CBS, Universal, everyone wants their own streaming service. So what are they doing? They're taking it out of Netflix. So that's why Netflix is now inundating everyone with all those Netflix original movies and TV shows. If you look at it, I think for this month, there's like 30, 40 of them coming out. It's their only way to keep people in because they need to try to find new shows in order to keep people on Netflix, or they're gonna go to the other streaming service like Disney Plus because, hey, they don't have the shows I want, so I'm gonna go to Disney Plus and give them my money instead. So it's all money based and business.
I think, yeah, you're right. They're in trouble, by the way, because I actually watched some of them, like Voltron. I watched.
I don't even know what it
Was
is.
Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yes, that's
Lemony
it.
Snicket's, yeah.
Okay, they did that with Neil Patrick Harris, and the thing is like the first 2 seasons were okay, a little slow, and then like season 3 they just like rushed to the ending, like they really rushed, like it just makes all their series like not good.
Netflix, they have hundreds of shows and stuff, but it's all either a hit or it's mostly a mess, okay? So they're just throwing money at whatever new shows and new ideas, trying to find that one thing that will stick, okay? So that's why they're spending a lot of money. Also they spent, like $100 million to keep Friends for another year, because it also keeps viewers still with Netflix, like some of the other ones. So for them, they have money, okay? The one thing they don't have is shows and stuff. So that's why they're making a ton of Netflix shows and trying to do whatever they can to keep some of the stuff that their percentage of their fan base still likes, because they don't want to lose them to other streaming services. Yeah, they have competition, and that's one thing but their big thing is they're losing shows that people like. And for me, there's only some shows that I like. Fortunately, I have kids who love VeggieTales. It's on Netflix only. If it was on like Amazon Prime, I'd cancel Netflix, because certain shows I like, but I do the Netflix way, where you just renew your service every 6 months. That way you can binge watch everything within a week. Any new shows, anything you can catch on, anything new you can watch. And every year they put out their new Netflix series that I like, and anything else new that they might have purchased.